Hey guys, this is Rob and welcome back to All Things IT. Last video we set up our own Active Directory Windows server. This video we're going to set up our Linux server, and that Linux server is going to have all the applications that we need. It's going to have our IDS and our IPS. It's going to have our SIEM, and we're also going to put some other programs on there as well just to see how they work. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into things. So let's get started with making the Linux server. We're just going to name this machine services because this is where it's going to have all our additional programs that we're going to be installing in the future. For type, we're going to pick Linux, and then for subtype, we're going to pick Ubuntu. So seeing how this is going to have all those programs that we talked about earlier, we're going to go ahead and try and make this a pretty beefy machine. We're going to use 12 gigs of RAM and 4 processors. We're just running everything from the command line, so for the purpose of that, this should be fine. 150 should be fine, and if need be, we can always just come back and spin up a new machine or see if we can add more hard drive space to this. For our network setup, we're going to do that internal network. And remember, that's the network that we set up with our Active Directory so our clients can get internet access through the Active Directory server. For permisc mode, we're going to do allow all, and that's going to allow us to look at any traffic that's going through the network. Because a lot of the programs we're going to be using, they need to see that traffic in order to work properly. We're going to do start, and then we're going to go ahead and select our Ubuntu server ISO. We're going to select mount and boot, and it's going to run through that initial startup process. So we're going to go ahead and cut it to the next part of our setup. Now that we're here, go ahead and select your language. We're going to skip to network configuration, and you can see we're getting that IP address that starts in 172. And like I said, we're getting that from our Active Directory server. We're going to head over to the mirror config portion, and we're just going to let that run through for a bit, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the next part. And we're going to keep clicking done until we get to this part right here. And this is just letting us know, hey, here's that 150 gigs that you allocated towards the machine. It's going to ask if we want to go ahead and override everything that's in that allotted 150 gigs. We do, so we're going to go ahead and click continue. And this is where we go ahead and set up the name of the server, the name of our admin user, and our password as well. We do want SSH on. The reason for that is because we're actually going to be logging into this server from a different machine, because that just makes the installation process a lot easier for all the programs that we're going to be installing. This right here is just asking if we want to install any additional programs. We're just going to go ahead and select none of them, and we're just going to go down and click done. Now it's going to run through that setup. So we'll go ahead and cut it here and jump to the next part. So we're at the login portion of our Linux server. Before we SSH into our machine and start installing the Peppermint IT ticketing system, there's just a few things I want to do first. So we're going to go ahead and use your login and your password to log into the server. And during the setup, we did see that IP address starting with 172 from our Active Directory server, but I also want to go ahead and check it here as well. We're going to type in IP space A, we're going to click enter, and we're going to scroll down, and we do see that same IP address from when we were first installing our Linux server. The next thing we want to do, we want to make sure all our packages are up to date. So we're going to do sudo apt update && sudo apt upgrade -y. Now that we have SSH'd into our server, we're going to go ahead and utilize this first command here. And this first command here is going to uninstall any conflicting packages that we may have on our server. And I will be posting all commands in the description below. This next command here sets up the Docker repo. That way we're able to accurately install Docker, because in order for us to install Peppermint IT ticketing system, we have to first install Docker and Docker Compose. So we're going to let this command do its thing, and we're cut to the next part. Next, we're going to actually install Docker and Docker Compose now. And this is the tool that we need in order to have Peppermint IT ticketing system be installed. So we're going to run the following command here, and we're going to go ahead and let the command do its thing, and we're cut to the next part. So to keep all our Docker stuff organized, we're going to make a directory and title it Docker. And when we run the ls command, we can see here that our directory has been successfully made. We're going to cd into our Docker directory, and then we're going to make another directory called Peppermint. And this is where we're going to keep our Peppermint configuration files. That way everything's just nice and organized for us. And once we have that directory made, we're going to go ahead and cd into it. Next, we're going to run the command sudo nano docker-compose.yml. And we're getting the stuff for our .yml from the official Peppermint website. I'll go ahead and leave that link down below. We're just going to copy and paste all this. We don't need the version part, so we can exclude that when we copy and paste everything. So let me just touch on a few things that we're looking at right here. So when we run this, it's going to create a database. The username for that database is going to be Peppermint. Password's going to be 1234. And the title of that database is Peppermint. If we look below, we see that the container name is Peppermint. You will also notice that this is going to be running on port 3000. And what we can do is we can leave all this as is. This is for testing and learning, so we won't have to change any of the defaults. If this wasn't a live actual production system, then yes, we would go ahead and change those defaults. So we're going to go ahead and just save this file as is. So to run all this and get everything installed, we're going to do sudo docker compose up-d. And now it's downloading all the necessary services that we need to make sure Peppermint IT is up and running. We're going to let this command do its thing, and we're cut back to the next part. Okay, our download is done. Let's go ahead and log into Peppermint IT. So to log into the IT ticketing system, we're going to enter the IP address of our Linux server, followed by port 3000. So the default login credentials is admin@admin.com, and the password is 1234. And this page here is just how you can get in contact with the community. So now that we're logged in, let's do a little bit of exploring. We'll go ahead and click admin, and then we'll click users. Here we see our default admin user. Let's go ahead and add another user. Here we have our new user, and let's just go ahead and make them an admin. Next, let's go ahead and create a ticket. So we're just create a printer ticket. We're just say that our printer isn't working. We will do a internal client, and we will assign this to our new user that we created, Bob Smith, and we will say this is for maintenance. All right, now our ticket is created. When we go to issues, there we see our ticket, printer is not working. And let's go ahead and make this a high priority ticket. And when we go back to issues, we see that now this ticket is now a high priority ticket. Congratulations, guys. Not only did you make a Linux server machine, but you also went ahead and installed your own IT ticketing system with Peppermint. Once again, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.